thank you so much for joining me for what will be the final installment of my American Horror Story Coven Cake Element series. Today we're going to focus on the piece de resistance, Misty Day, who features front and center on the cake. And if you've seen the other videos that I've made on this cake, you'd know that. And if you haven't, go and have a look, because it'll show you how I made a couple of the other lovely elements that feature on the cake. Anyway, I'm going to be showing you how I created Misty's face using a lot of different techniques. Probably too many, but I get that way, whatever. So I hope you guys get something out of it. I know I got something out of it because I tried things that I'd never tried before. So I learned a lot making this video. The other thing that I'd really like to touch on while I've got you here, very quickly before we move on to what we're all here for, is that if you have seen my other videos, or if you look at my other videos, you may notice that the formatting is a little bit different for all of them. And the reason for that is that I'm still testing the YouTube waters and getting to know this space and what people like. So, if you could help me by commenting below which video you've liked the best so far, it would really, really help me, and I'd be able to develop videos that you like to watch, and that's what I'm here for, the paparazzi. That's what I'm here for, is to show you what you want to see. So, saying that, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the little bell in the bottom too, because then you'll get notifications every time I upload a new video, which will be soon. Thank you so much for joining me again, and I will see you next time. On to the video.
Okay, so you saw a really quick shot there of a picture I found of Misty online, and I resized her to be the size that I wanted it to end up. I decided to use a picture, an illustration, rather than a photograph, because the thought of replicating a photograph by first time around was just a bit too scary. I rolled out some fondant to match the size of the picture, and I pinned the picture to it with hemming pins, and now I'm just going around the outline with a regular HB pencil. What we end up with is a really odd looking impression. At this stage I was a little scared, but not to worry, everything went okay. I then went around the outside of her with my X-Acto knife and mounted her onto two 7-inch round foam dummies, which ended up being 6 inches high. So I knew then that the cake I built had to be 7 inches round, 6 inches high for her to fit on properly. I went around the outline with an edible marker, like so. And then it was on to the fun part, painting, or terrifying part, whatever. I decided to use a mixture of petal dust and high volume alcohol. And the reason I use alcohol is because it evaporates really quickly, so it's dry, so it doesn't make the fondant all icky and tacky. The trick I found here was to, number one, don't be scared. I think once I let the fear go, everything went a lot more smoothly. And number two, just lightly, little by little. It's all building it up. So same as doing your makeup. It's start light and build up heavier as you go. The eyes terrified me, but everything went okay. Letting go of the fear. I then added a bit more shade. It was just all shading, and doing a base colour for the hair. Beautiful. And there she is, pretty as a picture. Now I decided to dress her, so I made her a little turquoise teardrop necklace. I ended up marbling some blue, green, black and white fondant, rolling it into a little teardrop shape, adding a hole, and now I'm rolling out some black fondant really thinly and popping it in as the necklace cord. Now I'm popping it around her neck, trying to add a 3D piece to a 2D piece and make it look somewhat okay. Isn't as easy as you'd think. Sugar lace. This is a homemade sugar lace I made. I wanted to make a shawl for around her neck, so I put it on my mold and, of course, in true me style, decided to jump the gun and unmold it too early, so it tore a little bit, but lucky for me, I only needed a couple of pieces, so I just went with it. I used some sugar glue to attach it and just trimmed to size. Next, we're on to her lovely curly locks. I just rolled pieces of fondant in I think it was in 3 different shades, curled them and attached them to her head with some sugar glue. And then I went in with some petal dust and dusted it a little bit to make it look a bit more dimensional. As you can see there, I've also added some wafer paper feathers to her hair. And there she is, the beautiful Misty Day, sitting loud and proud at the front of that cake. I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.
I was doing so well then, and I've just fucked it all up again. I love the look so much. I did it on myself. What do you think? Hot, huh? Me and what will be the final installment of my American Horror Stories Coven Cake Horror Stories. So much for joining me for what will be the final installment in my American... That was pointed, wasn't it?